Hello everyone, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Isaiah, and to all my subscribers, new and old, thank you so much. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. I have been posting a lot of videos lately that are a little bit different, and I'm gonna switch it up just one more time, kind of really trying to connect, because I realize that, yes, my videos are helpful to some, but I want to be helpful to a lot of other people. So, as you guys know, I have also said that I have a TikTok account. And on my TikTok account, I post similar content. However, lately I've been getting a little bit of messages and different things, and I want to try to do something completely different that may help as well. It's a suggestion from one of my followers on there that they did suggest that I kind of talk about people's stories, and with permission, of course, and then talk a little bit about myself. But I can't talk a little bit about myself yet. I might be able to tell some stories later on, maybe way later on. But right now, I do have permission, so I'm going to tell you guys a story. And I know I'm sorry for blabbering so long. I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. So, this was submitted, and I want you guys to tell me kind of if you can relate to it or if you understand it. So, the gentleman that submitted this was telling about their experience in high school. Now, from their freshman year, they said that they always felt pressure that they had to do better, be better. They were working at a grocery store at the time, and they were saying how it was really hard because it was a freshman year in high school. They were short, they were really skinny, they used to wear glasses, and they weren't exactly super athletic. Now, if anybody can understand that, I always felt, and I understand that feeling where it's kind of like you feel a stigma where if you're going to become a man, you should be able to look a certain way, feel a certain way, and that's how he kind of described basically how he was feeling, especially going into freshman year. He didn't have abs, he had flabs, which I thought was kind of funny, but I remember that. I had that as well. I still kind of have that. But he was just kind of talking about how his experience was through his freshman year. He joined football, but he couldn't commit to it. He ended up trying different sports, lacrosse and cross country. Neither one of them he was able to commit to it because his job, he had to work at an early age to help out his family. That I understand. And he truly did want to be able to make a difference and do a lot more. Fast forward to his sophomore year, his experience was a little different. He had people that he thought were his friends and that liked him. And he learned the hard way that you can't trust a lot of people, because the people that he trusted to be able to tell them their secrets and be able to just kind of think he could have conversations with decided to be petty. So I'm going to elaborate because I was trying to summarize it, but I realized when it comes to telling a story, you need the full version. So his sophomore year, he gave details that there was a girl and he really, really cared about this girl. However, the girl did not feel the same. And we're going to go ahead and say the girl's name is G, and we're going to go ahead and say the boy's name is B. And what happened with B is he ended up really developing feelings for G, and he wasn't able to communicate that with her. He would try to work out. He would go to class early. He'd walk her to class. He would give her his jacket. He had one fragrance that he would spray because she complimented him on it every single day, probably a lot more than he ever should, but on every single piece of clothing that he did, and would literally walk her to and from class, would sit with her during lunch, would spend time with her after class, would find out later on that she lived in his same apartment complex, and would go and try to make time to see her, to spend with her. And he also learned that she had a little brother who was very, very, very needy, and he wanted to go ahead and be a part of both of their lives. And since it was just them, because he came from a single family household and so did she, he would spend a lot of time going over, helping them set up anything they needed, just really helping out their day to day. Now, his freshman and sophomore year kind of were something that he said were a little bit of a blur because he got kicked out of a bunch of schools when the girl rejected him because he went down a downward spiral. He also said he was struggling with depression and many other issues that are no laughing matter, and I know how hard certain things can be when you have mental health issues and you're really just trying to figure your life out while you're growing up and things just aren't going your way. He struggled for many years after, and he said he barely feels that now he has a handle on it. he was talking about how freshman and sophomore year were the hardest years of his high school experience, and he never ever was excited to go to school. There was never a day where he woke up and felt like this is the best feeling ever. Fast forward to his junior year, he went ahead and said he didn't remember much other than the fact that he doesn't even know how he graduated. Senior year, he was getting kicked out of classes left and right for attacking fellow students because his mom had gotten sick at the time. Now, when she needed surgery, and he was missing classes, taking his frustration out because certain people would make fun of him because he would smell some days, he wouldn't shower others, he wasn't sleeping, he was just looking really rough. And there were times where he felt that he needed someone to talk to and he didn't have that person. I'm telling you guys these stories, and I hope you guys enjoy them, because it's just to really realize that there are a lot more people out in this world that may understand you or may have different struggles even than you do. I will elaborate more. I don't want to make this like a 20-30 minute long video, but this is just a little bit about somebody's experience from their high school years. Now, if you guys would like to have your story told, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. We can reach out, we can communicate. If you wouldn't, that's fine as well. I mainly have stories and people reaching out to me on TikTok, so I'm going to be sharing with them more and more. Today's just the first day, sharing a little bit about somebody's high school experience and how hard and much they struggled, and kind of elaborating on that, but I don't want to take up guys too much of your time. The whole point of this story and what I took away from it as well is that it took them years and it took them many times of struggling and a lot of loss from his story. However, he did overcome every one of his challenges. Whether that was him feeling alone, whether that was him struggling with mental health, whether that was him not feeling like he belonged, not just in high school, but anywhere. If you can relate to any of those things, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And I know that as long as you keep pushing and you have your faith in God, He'll never abandon you. Things will get better. There's no time frame on when. There's no projections on how. But at the end of the day, as long as you keep pushing and you try to do better, not just for yourself, not just for your family, but also with His strength, you will be able to do better. I hope this video finds right people. I hope this helps. I'm sorry the story was a little bit jumbled. For my next video, I will be making sure the stories are all a little bit more concise and I condense it, as well as I potentially may share some of my own. I hope y'all have a great day, and I'll talk to you more all later on.